Hi friends, it's Heather, and today I'd like to share with you a banner that I am making using both Gecko Galz digital papers and a paper I made myself in GIMP, as well as some beautiful embellishments from Esmeralda's Pro 31 Designs Etsy shop. I'm going to bring this up a little closer so you can see it. It'll take a moment for my camera to adjust and focus. I think that's pretty good. So some embellishments that I used from Esmeralda's shop would be these white leaves, which I distressed with vintage photo distress ink, as well as the drop beads here, which are part of a string of drop pearls. I used some champagne or sand colored pearls as well. They also come on a string and they're all attached, so I just cut them apart. And then I've got these beautiful ivory cream colored mulberry roses. Let's see, you can see them really nice there. They're really pretty. As well as the digital papers from Gecko Galz, this beautiful little floral tiny chintz type print. And this larger robin's egg blue. And it is a little bit greener, the background in real life. It's just on my computer screen it looks more blue. Which it is blue, but it's got a hint of green to it. So more, like I said, like a robin's egg blue. I used a Martha Stewart punch for my edges here. And I used a vintage antique button as well as a seed bead for the center of this flower. Some May Arts trim green leaves. And another beautiful crystal from Esmeralda Pro 31's design store. This cute little bridal spray of like beads also came from her shop. I used some pinkish coral color ribbon. It's like my favorite color as well to attach to my banner so I can hang it. And then on the back side, it's the same paper. I just didn't ink it or anything. And then you'll see that I have some perfect pearls and perfect copper, like faux stitching that I did along the edges. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make one of these banners today. Here's the letter F, and the rest of my letters will spell out the word faith. And I'll hang that up in my area where I create as soon as I get it, looking nice. So maybe I'll put that up there first so that hopefully it'll just begin to look nice sometime soon in the future. Here we go. All right, so let's get started. Okay, here are the different elements that we're going to use in our banner. I have two of the banner flags, which is the Gecko Galz design, as well as a little yellow circle. Let me see if I can bring this up so you can see the print a little better. It's got little tiny roses in diamond shape. It's a really pretty paper. And the pink scallop half circle is just a pinkish coral color background with some red writing, and I created that in GIMP. Okay, and I used the Make the Cut program as well as Inkscape to do the designing of my shapes and everything. Here's my May Arts trim. You'll see it's just little green leaves, and I will cut them out individually to use. There, that's a pretty good picture of that. Here are the flowers from Esmeralda's store, as well as the leaves and a crystal. I have to order some more because I think I want to do it all in the pink crystals like I have on the bottom of that one. But so today I'm going to use a white one. So I might throw a couple different colors in there. Here's my letter A, which you can see, and that is one that I did using like a shadow effect and the print and cut with Make the Cut. And then I cut it out with my Black Cat Cougar. Here is the pretty beaded trim with the drop pearls. It's like one of my favorites, and all I do is cut out little sections or individual pearls to stick where I want them for the banner. And let's see, here is the sand color or champagne colored flat back pearls that I just cut 6 of them off to put on the banner. And I think that's about it for what I need. I've got ribbon that I cut, and it's probably like 3.5, maybe 4 inches, and then I just glued it together with my hot glue gun. There's that. And let's see, anything else? I think I've got everything. This is the punch that I used by Martha Stewart, so you can see it's just the I think it's like a lace. It's called like a lace, old-fashioned lace or something. All right. I also used my Perfect Pearls and Perfect Copper. You can find the names on the bottom. Perfect Medium pen. These are my favorite, and this is, let's see if I can get it. There we go. Perfect Medium bullet pen. And you can tell that it doesn't have a brush tip. So this is more like for fine tip type work. So I like this. I have better control. If I'm going to color in a large area, then I use the brush tip one. Okie dokie. Then I've got my Perfect Pearls brush, which came with the set that I got from either Michael's or Joann's. Otherwise, any flat or round brush I would say would work. So from like Lowell Cornell or anything, that would work just fine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off by using some distress ink in Vintage Photo. And I'm going to distress all my edges. So I'll do that first with the foam applicator, which is really messy. Mine's really messy, I mean. And the distress ink. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and distress all my edges with the Vintage Photo. So I'll scooch that out of the way. And I'm not very neat at it. You can use a non-stick background or just a piece of paper for your to do your inking on. And I'm actually using the back of a Silhouette mat cover because it's kind of non-stick and I couldn't find my non-stick mat, but it works just fine. So there's my scallop. I'm going to do the letter A. And you don't have to ink yours in the same color. You can ink yours in a different color. I just happen to like the brown. I kind of give mine all over color there. And get some yellow piece. Just twist my piece. It's easier than twisting my arm to do the inking with. Okay. And I'm going to do my banner. And I'm only doing the front. I'm not doing the back because I'm not as concerned about anybody seeing the back because I don't know if I'll ever have it hanging anywhere that anyone would be able to see the back. But I still wanted to finish it so it wouldn't look quite so unfinished on the back, since I have the pieces of trim that's been punched. So let's see. And there we go. So I'll go ahead and so you can see the edges there. Pretty good, I think. Just got a slight tint of Vintage Photo around the whole edge, as well as my little circle, my letter A, and my scallop. Okay. Here I have my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. And I've got the 2 pieces of punched trim that I did, as well as my background stamp. And what I'm going to do, well, it's not a background stamp, it's actually a background image from Gecko Galz. I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue on my edge here. There we go. You can just barely see it on there. It's a little shiny. And then I'm going to line up one of these with the front here. And what I like to do when I'm doing mine is I like to just cover up this one little single dot that's all by itself, so then I kind of know that I'm all lined up. And let's see, I'm going to have to bring this up a little. Let's see. Here we go. Because I like to make sure that I have it so I can just cut it flat across the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to give this a nice little pressure on both sides so that it'll stick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it flush with the top, just straight across. And there we go. And then I'm going to do the same on the bottom, which is not going to really matter too much. You can cut away some because we'll be putting the button there and it's going to cover it up. So that's how that looks on the one side. And I did not distress the edges on this, although you could, and who knows, I may go back and do that with the vintage photo. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue down on the other side with my glue stick. And do the same here with this one. Pick this back up so I can see where I want to go. And I think this should be good. And again, I'm just going to cover up the one little dot so that my edge of my piece is kind of lining up with the two dots here. And I'm going to give it a little pressure on both sides just by pinching it. And again, I'm going to just use my scissors. You could also use, like I have a Fisker's tool I like to use, which is just a craft knife that I use sometimes to make my edges look better. And I'm going to just slide underneath the other one and just give it a cut across because it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I'm going to be covering up anyway. And then I'm going to go back to this side and slide under here and cut off this one piece. But like I said, it's going to be all covered up anyway. And so there we go with the first part of our banner. Okay. Okay, I have my Yoo-Hoo glue again, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the back of my pink scallop part that I'm going to add to the top of my pennant flag here. And I just put a whole bunch on there so it'll stay on pretty good. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of line it up here on the top so it looks even on both sides, and that's pretty good. Give it a nice little squeezy down. Little mush mush here and a mush mush there. Okay. And then next I'm going to add some pop dots to my circle here. And I'm just going to put some in this, one in the center and to each of the sides. And then I'm going to turn it over and look at it and see which way that I want to have going up. And so I'm going to turn it this way. Yeah, of course, that's how it always happens. I kind of like, I should have looked at it first, but I think that's pretty good. I should still be able to, if I just move this one, you know, that happens, and move it down here. I'm going to put this on like that, and I want to leave some room so I can tuck my leaves in at the top. And if I have my pop dots there, then it's going to be too hard to stick them in. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the little plastic from my pop dots. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in place, which is just kind of in the center here of my banner. And I'm happy with that as soon as I get this out of the way. And I'm going to do the same thing with my letter A. I'm going to put on some pop dots on the back of that. So I'll go ahead, and I just had these little square ones here. And I'm just going to use a couple. Actually, I think 2 should be good. Okay. And I'm going to put that on after I put my roses on. Okay. Now, I'm going to take 2 of the leaves, which are these white leaves, and they come in a package of, I think, like 12 or 10. I'm not too sure. And I'm just going to tear them right off, which they come off pretty easy. And then I'm going to distress them as well with my vintage photo. And I'm just going to put it all over the whole leaf. And actually I need to get a little more. There we go. And it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but when you look at it up close, you can tell that it's got the brown on it. And it just makes it not quite as shiny, so it looks better with my background. So here we go. You can see, I think, a little bit there. They're still got some shimmer, but they've got a brown tint to them. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my glue gun, which you'll have to forgive my glue gun. It's like a gazillion years old. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back here and then tuck this in right there. And I'm going to do the same with this one. just a little bit. And you'll see my little glue hairs popping up here and there now. And there we go. So I have both my glue leaves glued down. Now here's one of the mulberry roses, and all I've done is turned it over, and I give this a good twirly, and it'll just break right off. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Give it a good twirl, and it'll break right off. There we go. So I got the two of those. And then I also am going to use, oh, here we go, one of the pretty like bridal beaded sprays. You'll see how it has a really long stem, and I'm just going to use some wire cutters. Otherwise, if you have a pair of scissors that are not all that great, you can use those. And I'm just going to give it a trim. Cut some of that off. Of course, the paper's going to want to come too here, but that's okay. So now I have this. And I'm going to go ahead and use my glue gun again and just add some glue to the back of this here. And I'm going to tuck it up underneath my circle. So there we go. I'm happy with that. There we go. That looks pretty nice. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and do the same thing with my roses. I'm just going to put a dollop of glue from my glue gun on the back. And then I'm just going to stick one to the left of my bead spray. And then I'm going to do the same with the other. Add some glue. And then I'm going to add it to the right of my beaded spray. And I'm just going to kind of smush them in place. So here we go. Let's see. So you can see it. I've got my leaves and my flowers in place, as well as my beaded spray. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my letter, because I'll know how to adjust it like up and down as far as where my flowers are. So I'm just going to remove my pop dots, well, the plastic backing, and I'm going to go ahead and just stick my A right there, and I'm happy with that. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and adhere these tiny little flat back pearls, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little dollop of glue in the spot here, there, and there. So in each scallop I'll have a pearl. Just give it a little smush on there, and same with this one. And if you wanted, you didn't have to use your glue gun. I like to use this glue here, art glitter glue. It's one of my favorite glues, but since I'm doing the tutorial online, I wanted it to dry fast so I could pick it up. So I'm using the other, which this does dry pretty fast, but not as quick as the hot melt glue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put 3 more dots over here in the scallops, and put 3 more of my little flat back beads, pearls that I got from Esmeralda, which, by the way, thank you for my design team kit. And then I also did some work for Esmeralda, and instead of having her pay me, I had her send me goodies from her store. So I got a lot of really beautiful items. I just love to barter. Okay, now since I have this already ready, I'm just going to go ahead and add my glue to the back here, just in a little strip. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just put my ribbon on there. So there we go, and put it back down on my background. Okay, and maybe I'll just, there we go. Next, I'm going to take a little section of these pearls, and what I did with the other one is I simply just gave a snip here, and I used 3, so 2 of the short and 1 of the long drop pearls, and I just clipped them apart there. So you'll see it's just a tiny little section. And I'm going to turn this over so I can see. And I'm going to put some glue just on the top part here of that trim. And then I'm going to try to stick it in underneath my yellow piece, which there we go. And you might have to manipulate it a little bit just so you don't see all of the little fibers, but there you go. So I think it's looking really pretty so far. Okay, and now for the finishing touch, I'm going to go ahead and get like about a 4-inch piece of my beading wire, and that is what I used on my beautiful little bobble here that I got from Esmeralda's store. And so this time I'm going to use a clear crystal bobble, and it's got a hole right here, and I'm just going to slide my beading wire, which is 24 gauge, and it's just plain gold. It's made by Doris. Here we go, Doris, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and I'm going to just simply take this and give it a twist or two, so I'm good to go. Now I'm going to grab my little vintage button, and I am going to take this and string it through the back, and take the same one and string it back through, and then let's see if I can bring this up a little closer, and you have to kind of really pull it through here, and I just kinked my wire, so here we go. Get it here and do this. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's how I did it the first time. I guess I should have paid more attention to what I was doing, but I know I have the let's see, actually it's not all that simple here. Oh, come on out, Mr. Beading Wire. All right. Oh, you know what? I did forget the I forgot to put the bead on. I thought I had just put the bead on there afterwards, but I didn't. So first I just strung one side through, and now I'm going to look for bead, and it's just a seed bead, and I'm going to drop my seed bead on my wire. There we go, and that will be my center. And let's see, so you can just barely, see it, there you go. And now I'm going to put this side back through on the other hole, and hopefully, since I kind of got this wire already jungled up here, I might have to come back and do this in a minute, but you get the idea going through there. So hold on just for a second. So I've got the little tiny bead. Hopefully my camera will focus. Maybe I'm too close. So here we go. So I got the tiny bead in the center of my button, and if you look at the back, you can see where I went through one side and back out the other. And now I'm just gonna kind of twist this one around a little bit, the other one, and then I'm going to use my brush edge to curl up my ends. There we go. And get this one a little curl too. Oops. Usually I use a wooden skewer for this, but unfortunately I forgot to bring one over to this table. So it'll have this pretty little gold wire with your cute little bobble and antique button. All right. Now just for placement, I'm going to look at where I'm going to put it. And I'm thinking about putting it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut away, just kind of maybe like at a point on this, here we go, my border punch. All right, and then I have my pieces of, my one piece of May Arts leaf trim, and I'm just going to simply cut out some of the leaves, actually just 2 of them. So there's one. And here's the other. And I just want the leaf part. I don't need this extra, so I just cut that off. Okay. And I'm going to, again, just kind of guess where I'm going to put that about right there. So I'm going to get my glue gun, add a tiny bit of glue to the back of my leaf, and stick this about right here, I believe. And then when my button goes, it'll look like it's a little flower. Okay, I'm going to grab my other leaf here and put some glue on the back of that. And again, I'm going to just stick it where I think would be a good spot. So I need to bring it down just a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to just take some glue with my glue gun again. And I'm going to put a big dollop on here to hold this in place. And I'm just going to slide it right there. And so now I've got my new bobble in my button and some little glue tendrils left over, which I can take off later. So let's see, here's the top again. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add, how I did my perfect pearls and the perfect copper. So I'm just going to take my bullet pen and I'm just going to freehand some faux stitching lines. You can do long ones or short ones. And I'm just going to go down both sides here. Okay, and then get my perfect pearls and perfect copper and my brush. And just put some on your brush and go over these areas. And you'll see how it may stick a little bit to your vintage photo ink too, but I like the way it looks, but the most of it will stick to your stitching lines. So you can see they're starting to show up here. So add a little more. And I want to do both sides. And again, you could use whatever color you like. I just happen to prefer the perfect copper color. It's one of my favorites. So go ahead and get that on, which you can see it here. And I just use the brush. And they do have a like a mop brush, so you can get the excess off, but I don't usually take the time to do all that because I like the way it looks, and I think this looks just fine. After a while, the other, on the areas that doesn't have the perfect medium there, it'll just kind of come off. All right, so that is that. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my piece, my A banner, and just kind of flip it over, and it's kind of messy on the back. And I'm just going to want to line my back up here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cheat and use my glue gun and put a little thing of glue here. And then look at the top of my piece and just kind of guesstimate here. Like if you look at your little circles again on your trim, you'll kind of know where to go with lining that up. And I'm going to give it a little squeeze at the top. And then I'm going to add some more glue, which I'm going to have to, I need to give it a little push here because here we go. And just kind of go right down the sides so you can see. And then I'm going to, again, just give this a little pressure. And I'm done. So now I have 2 of my banner pieces ready, and like I said, I've got the rest to do. And actually I'm liking it with the pink and the white, so I think I'm going to get some aqua ones. I have this blue one, but it's more of a blue, and I don't know, it looks pretty good, so I might use that on the next one. But that is from Esmeralda Store. So again, I use Gecko Galz digital papers, and they're very pretty. The blue, and they're like a vintage, and this is part of the January pattern papers. So if you were to go to the Gecko Galz site, that is where you would see this blue and the yellow. There's also some other pretty patterns I just happen to really like the florals. And the pink one I did in GIMP. And again, if you want to watch some of my other tutorials, you will see how to create like your own papers, because it's pretty much the same thing as just altering any image. All right, that's it. And thank you for watching. And again, go check out Esmeralda's store as well as Gecko Galz. And you can check out my blog if you like. That would be awesome. So there we go. 2 of my 5 banners done. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day and that this inspires you to create something. Bye.